Welcome to segment lengths in circles. This should go with your segments of circles notes. Number one, we're going to solve for x, assuming that lines which appear tangent are tangent. So for this particular problem, if you look in your notes and compare this picture with all the options, you'll see that we're going to use the a squared equals c times c plus d formula. This is going to be a, this is b, and this is d. So when we plug it in, we will have 15 squared equals 9 times 9 plus x. And we're just going to solve for x. So we'll start by squaring 15, which is 225. And then we're going to distribute the 9 because we can't add 9 and x. So that'll be 9 times 9 is 81. Then 9 times x is 9x. Then we'll subtract 81 from both sides. That'll give us 144 equals 9x. And then we divide both sides by 9. We get x equals 16. Okay, try number 2. Make sure you use your notes to figure out which formula to use. Number 3. For this one, we're going to use the formula a times a plus b equals c times c plus d. 4 is a, minus 3 is b, 5 is c, and then d is going to be x minus 6. All right, and since we're not subtracting, an extra set of parentheses here and here would not be necessary. We're not having to distribute the minus sign. All right, so let's go ahead and combine like terms inside each set of parentheses. So I'm combining those two and those two. So that's going to be, we'll keep the 4 on the outside for this step. 4 plus negative 3 is positive 1. And then for over here, keep the 5 on the outside. 5 plus negative 6 is negative 1. Now we're going to distribute. And I'm going to take the x term with the smallest coefficient first. So that's why I'm subtracting the 4x first. So that's just 1x over here. And then I'll just add the 5 to both sides, leaving us with 9 equals x. Go ahead and try number 4. Number 5. For this one, we're going to use this formula. So it doesn't really matter which is which, but we have to make sure A and B are on the same line segment. And then same thing for C and D. They have to be on the same line segment. All right, so for this one, I'm going to put the 4x plus 2 in parentheses because we're multiplying by 8, and we have to make sure we multiply this whole thing by 8, not just like the 2 or the 4. You can put the 4x in parentheses if you want to. It's not necessary, but you can. All right, so for the first one, we are going to have to multiply 8 by the whole binomial 4x plus 2. So that's going to be 32x plus 16. And then 9 times 4 is 36. And we don't multiply the 9 times the x because we already did. The only time you multiply the outside number by multiple things is if you have a plus or minus. Now we're going to subtract the x term with the smaller coefficient. That leaves us with that. Then we're going to divide both sides by 4, which means x equals 4. Go ahead and try number 6. All right, we're going to omit 7 and 8 because those are going to give us a quadratic equation. So we're not going to worry about that. And we're going to skip to number 9. For this one, it's going to be A times B equals C times D. We'll make that A. That'll be B. That'll be C. And we'll make that D. Let's go ahead and plug in. So we've got 12 times 2x plus 5 equals 14 times 2x plus 2. So I don't really need the dot right here. I'm just putting it since it was in the formula, but the dot is unnecessary since I'm using the parentheses. So since these are already binomials, I'm going to go ahead and distribute. There are no like terms to combine, so I'm going to go straight to distribution. 12 times 2 is 24, so that'll be 24x plus 12 times 5 is 60. 14 times 2x is 28x. 14 times 2 is just 28. And now I'm going to start by taking away the x term with the smaller coefficient, which will be 24 first. Then I'm going to take away 28. Then I'm going to divide by 4. So we get 8 for x. And then it wants us to find UW. So for UW, it's this segment, the whole thing. So I'm going to have to take this 12, and I'm also going to have to take this 2x plus 5. So that's going to be 21. So we're going to add those two. So UW is going to equal 12 plus 21, which is 33. Go ahead and try number 10. We're going to omit number 11. Go ahead and try number 12. All right, number 13. For this one, we're going to use A times A plus B equals C times C plus D. A is going to be, I'll just make it 8, and that means B has to be the 10. A and C will be the outside parts of the secant lines. So C is going to be the outside part, the part of the secant that's outside the circle, and then D is going to be the part of the secant that's inside the circle, if you haven't figured that out already. All right, so A is 8, B is 10, C is 9, D is 2x minus 17. Again, you could put the 2x minus 17 in parentheses, but we're not distributing the 9 because that plus, it's not multiplying. So we don't need the parentheses there. And yeah, again, we don't need the parentheses there. Okay, any hoozles. Let me combine the like terms. So these two like terms can be combined over there, and these two combine over there. So that'll be 8, and then that'll be 18 on the inside of the parentheses. The 9 stays there. That'll be 2x minus 8. Okay, sorry, just double checking. And now I'm going to go ahead and multiply those two, and then multiply over here. So that'll be, hold on. So 144 equals 18x minus 72. Then I'm going to add the 72 to both sides. And I get 12. Oops, let me show the division, sorry. So we divide both sides by 18 and we get 12. And then we need to find CE, which is this entire segment. So we're going to plug that 12 in here. All right, cool, that'll be 7. And then 9. We have to add those together. So CE equals 9 plus 7, which is 16. Go ahead and try number 14. All right, 15 and 16 we're going to omit, and that's that.